Hello people of the world, and welcome to today's episode of Coffee Chats with Jax. So I am 24 years old, and I've been thinking lately a lot about what exactly that means. I was asked, just like I'm sure most of you were asked growing up, what you wanted to be when you grew up. Not if you wanted to go to college, but where you wanted to go to college and what you wanted to study. And they tell you that when you turn 18, that's when you become an adult and you move out and you do all this stuff and you kind of feel this pressure to have your life together. And I know that that can vary based on cultures and families, but I just lately have been really intentional about what it really means to be in my 20s. I've made a lot of mistakes, and the majority of them, I believe, have come in my late teens, early 20s. A lot of the time I felt some shame from that because when you turn 18, you're a grown-up. You're supposed to have your life together. You're supposed to know what you're doing and where you're living, and you gotta stop making these bonehead mistakes. And lately I've been kind of thinking back on that and being irritated at the idea of thinking that we had to know everything and have it all together by being 18 or by being in your 20s. Because honestly, your 20s are supposed to be, at least in my opinion, your time to really figure out who you are. Figure out what you love. Try new stuff. Fail. Don't be afraid to fall down. Don't be afraid to get your heart broken. Don't be afraid to fail at a job or to try something and change your mind. I want to try different stuff. I've moved, I think now 15 times since leaving my childhood home, and I used to feel so much shame for that. But lately I've been kind of proud of that because I have had some experiences, and some were really hard, and I've made some choices that some were really bad. But in every single one of those experiences and mistakes and failures, it's just shaped me so much more into the person that I think I'm growing into. I don't think we're supposed to be done by our 20s figuring it out with a spouse and kids and a white picket fence. And if you are, and if that is your dream, that's where you're at, then that's brilliant. But I want to make this video to kind of take away the pressure that society puts on people in their young adulthood, in their early 20s, late teens, to think that you do have to have that. You do have to know what you want. Even choosing a major in college is a lot of pressure because who knows if that's actually what you want to do. Get out in the world and try it. Get out in the world and learn what you love. Learn who you are. That's what my 20s have been for me. Just learning what makes me Jackie. It hasn't been easy. It's been really messy. I've learned so much about pain and heartbreak and failure and mistakes, but I've also learned a lot about joy in life and friendship and grace and freedom and excitement and purpose. Every single day offers an experience. Every day is made up of these moments, and they could be a good moment or a bad moment. They could be so painful or so exciting and exhilarating. But the point is that they're moments, and those moments make up those days, and those days make up your life. And what are we going to take from those moments and those days? What are we going to take from our lives? Your 20s are when you get to decide really who you want to be. Do you want your heart to be more open, more accepting, more loving? Or do you want to be more closed off and more in a box and more set on this one path? Do you want to go and become a doctor? Do you want to go become a musician? Do you want to move to Prague or London or Australia or Africa? Now's your time to try it. And if you go and you're there and you decide you don't like it, or you decide you want to do something else, or if it just doesn't work out how you planned, guess what? You get to turn around and come right back if you want to. That's the thing, you guys. Most of these things are not permanent. So move somewhere you don't know. Do something you've always wanted to try to do. Go dancing, go karaokeing, go stay out till 4 in the morning with your friends running around downtown. We're learning who we are, and I believe that until we really know who we are, there's not really a lot we can do. So let's try something new. Let's figure out what we love, what we hate, what we feel passionate about. Let's figure out what battles we would die on a hill for. Let's figure out what kind of people we want in our life, what kind of person we want to be, what we stand for. Let's try a new hairstyle, try on some different clothes. Just try. That's the thing, just try. We have adventures to go on, and that looks different for everybody, but figure out what it looks like for you and do it. Do not be afraid to fail. Without pain and without failure, we really don't learn much of anything. At least I think so anyway. Give yourself permission to fail, and then give yourself permission to love who you are when you have failed. Give yourself the grace and the love and the acceptance when you're down on the ground that you would give to your best friend. Because without that, you can't get back up. That, I think, is the most important thing about being in your 20s, is about learning how to get back up again. Learning how to love your broken self. That's what my journey's been. Learning to belong inside your own skin, belong inside your own body, to love who you see in the mirror. But I think before we can love who we see in the mirror, we need to know who that person is. Now is the time. If you don't have your life figured out, good. If you don't know what you want to be when you grow up, good. If you don't know where you want to live, if you don't know what you want to major in college, you are so normal and so perfect, and I am so excited to see what adventures you go on, and I'm so excited if you get to know who you are. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me every single week. If you're interested, I wrote a book called Finding Home. It's really just about my journey, I guess, in the early 20 phase, figuring it out, failing a lot, falling down a lot, and learning that I'm still okay. It's my journey learning how to step back into my own skin. I think we all take those journeys in one way or another, so thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you next week.